Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to specifically talk about the great man theory in context to the great man individual, right? Apologies. This video is part of a playlist. If you listen to this video, you will not understand the language I'm using, and you'll not understand where we are in the discussion of Dungeons and Dragons in context to the great man individual theory, and the identification of great man individuals, and how Dungeons and Dragons can serve great man individuals. All right, so you have to listen to this in context where it lands within its playlist. Playlist link is below. All right, let's go forward. So today, what I want to talk about. So my posit is that Dungeons and Dragons. Gary Gygax set Dungeons and Dragons up as the most powerful, effective, secular human improvement engine ever. That it was never a game, not a game on day one, not a game day now. Right, that it's always been not a game but a tool, right? But since then, there have been great individuals who understood the energy that understood that Gary set something special in place, right? And I think Dungeons and Dragons has evolved to become a great man individual, and that could be a great man, a great woman, a great AlgoBot, any person, any entity, right, that can make decisions and lead, right? And that basically, and that Dungeons and Dragons finds them, right? Like if you are a dungeon master with 100 sessions under your belt, you are a great man individual. You have proven this, right? And the reason why is the great man has 3 attributes, right? The great man individual has 3 attributes, according to Thomas Carlyle, who brought this forward in 1840. And by the way, people have been explaining, Thomas Carlyle had a lot of baggage, right? Like with this that we don't need to sign on to. Eat the chicken, eat the meat, spit out the bones, right? What is the important part of the great man theory, right? It's that leaders aren't made, they're born. I agree with this, right? And what we now understand is they can be born across, it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, you can still be a great man, right? It doesn't matter what gender you are, you can still be a great man individual. Doesn't matter if you're human or or an algorithm, you could be a great man individual. You could be a great leader. Right, and so that's critical to understand as you proceed, right? And so he got that part wrong. I think he had some suppositions about what it took to be a great man individual, but he was wrong. And but what he was right about is what are the ingredients of a great leader, right? Intelligence, charisma, and confidence. He was spot on. That is 100% correct, and there is no better divining rod in the world for that than Dungeons and Dragons. But get this, right? So Dungeons and Dragons serves humanity by finding these great man individuals. But one of the places where this becomes a problem is, so we've already talked about dormant great man individuals, right? Like, so you now know, okay, you have 100 sessions under your belt. You're a great dungeon master, and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm charismatic, confident, intelligent. Why am I not ruling the world? Well, because the world's not set up for you to rule it, right? It goes even further, right? Great man individual, Napoleon, right? Sometimes a great man individual drops into place, right? And is there, but the idea that that's the only great man that was born in that time is wrong. There's only enough space for so many great man individuals to lead, right? There's only so many great man individual slots, right? Now, I think we are building a structure where great man individuals can have more than we had before and allow them to impact our society, right? But this gets interesting, right? If we have a whole bunch of great man individuals who have been born, but they have nothing to do, right? Because the world is keeping them out of leadership slots and is insisting on being, led by fools. I mean, come on. Right now we have a President Joseph Biden doesn't even remember which of his sons are alive or dead. Like, we're clearly being led by fools, right? Like, there's the great man individuals are being born and they're not being put into leadership, right? So that we've structured our society to be led by fools, right? So now, if you have a divining rod that finds the great man individuals, which is exactly what Dungeons & Dragons is, in my humble opinion, what purpose is Dungeons & Dragons serving, right? And this is where we read, you're not going to hear this on any other channel, right? Because every other channel in the world is telling you, the point of Dungeons & Dragons is to have fun. Or they're saying, oh, hey, No other tabletop role-playing game was ever built by somebody as progressive, as intelligent, as special as Gary Gygax. But I'm sure you can do the same thing with other games, right? Yeah, right. Like, keep dreaming, right? Like, you're trying to make pancakes with no flour, no butter, no milk. All right, you don't got the ingredients to do it, right? That's the problem. You can't do anything with those games because they weren't built to do anything with those games. In my humble opinion, they weren't built to do anything. There's no other tabletop role-playing game in the world that's gonna bear the weight I'm talking about because they weren't built for it, right? They literally don't have the right ingredients, right? All right, so get this, right? Here's where we're landing. Not only is Dungeons & Dragons a divining rod for these great man individuals, right, to find them, but it also gives them a place to succeed, right? If we've built this society, and I think Gary saw this, right? If we've built a society where the great man individual cannot lead because we insist on being led by fools, what we have to do then is so that you don't have, lives of sorrow. Dungeons & Dragons is saying, be a great man individual here. Be a hero here. Be a leader here, right? And we will literally build worlds for you so that you don't have to lament every day because you live in a world ruled by fools, right? We will build a world for you to lead. We'll give you a space to keep your great man individual skills fresh, right? We will carve out a world for you to lead because the IRL world will not allow you to lead, right? So Dungeons & Dragons serves humanity as a whole by shepherding secularly humanity's emotional, intellectual, and spiritual growth, right? But it also cares for the great man individual, giving them a space where they can literally not have to have the sorrow of never leading and never really reaching their capacity and doing the things that they want to do and being the people that they want to be, right? And so Dungeons & Dragons builds worlds for people who need worlds so that they can spread out and be all that they are, truly great man individuals, great men, great women, great AlgoBots, right? That's what Dungeons & Dragons is for, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing and have a wonderful millennium.